Every summer, thousands of kids hit the camp for fun. But did you know the leading cause of death at summer camps is drowning?
Oh my god!
Let me tell you how I survived. It's summertime, and every heat wave makes me think about freshman year of high school when I went to my first and only summer camp with my AAU basketball team. They hyped it up like it was going to be the best week of our lives. Go-karts, swimming, kayaking, pool tables, and a bunch of other stuff that sound fun. What they didn't mention, it would be 100 degrees, there would be no Wi-Fi, and we were basically forced to bond with each other in the woods. As soon as we got to camp, they took our phones and electronics. Gone. Just like that. 1 minute I was robbing people on GTA on my PSP, and the next, I was forced into small talk. Hello. Goodbye. The camp was deep in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by trees, cabins, and a lake. The first day of summer camp was calm. We were just shooting around, playing basketball, nothing too crazy. But by nightfall, they announced a team bonding event. Sounds innocent enough, right? Nah. It was like a freaking boot camp drill in the middle of the night. We had to run through obstacle courses and do trust exercises with our group. At one point, they told us to walk into the lake. It was pitch black in order to move into the next section of the course. Just walk into the lake. No reason, no explanation. There could be a megalodon in the water or some electric eels, for all I know. Just kidding. It was dark as hell out there. Nobody was trying to do that. But we had to in order to move to the next section.
Amazing.
To my surprise, the lake was actually warm, suspiciously warm. Like freaking bath water. But whatever, we were rolling with it. Until I saw the giant water slide. When I got up to the water slide, I turned to my teammates like, yo, heads up, I can't swim. Another dude goes, bro, me neither. I think it's GG's for us. So my other teammate told the lifeguard to throw us some life jackets and said they would be staying in the water ready to fish us out if we sank like bricks. All my teammates went down the slide first and waited in the lake for me. I'm up there trying not to chicken out when a random camper leans over and goes, hey man, I think your nose is bleeding. Great. Perfect timing. Then it was my turn. I sat at the top of the slide, sucked the blood back into my nose, and said, screw it. I'm going for it. I jumped on the slide and launched myself into the water. As I hit the water, I immediately dropped like a brick. In my mind, I was like, oh hell no, bro, I'm sinking hella deep. I touched the bottom of the lake floor and kicked my way up. Gasped for air thinking, I'm alive, bruh! Then sank right back into the bottom of the water.
Come on, man.
Then in my head, I was like, maybe this really is GG's. Until I saw my teammate's hand grab me like I was a drop iPhone. And then he threw my ass onto the dock. The horror. The horror. Day 2 came and apparently I hadn't learned from the near drowning experience from yesterday. Because I wanted to kayak in the lake. And it was a 2-person kayak, so I chose a chill teammate to kayak with. And you know what? I chose the wrong one because he tried to unalive me in the lake. Bro thought this was a lowrider rocking the damn kayak back and forth like we were on a swing. He knew I couldn't swim and thought it was hilarious. Despite that, I realized I actually liked just floating in the middle of the lake. It was quiet and peaceful. I signed up for a 1-day swimming lesson at camp, hoping I'd magically figure out how to swim so I won't be afraid of getting in the water anymore. Spoiler alert. I still couldn't swim. I had no clue how to float and hated putting my face in the water because my nose kept catching on fire when water got into it. The instructor gave up halfway and told me, stick to the shallow end, bruh. That's when I learned that the reason why I couldn't float was because I was too tense and nervous. If I relaxed my body and stayed calm, I would be more buoyant. We went kayaking again the next day with my assistant coach. I thought, nothing can go wrong with him, right? Wrong. We were in the middle of the lake just chilling when, boom! This dumbass kayak flipped over for no reason. I tried to climb back in, but then I felt a sharp stabbing pain in my right leg. Ah! And I thought, oh hell nah, I got a cramp. That's when I tried even harder to jump onto the kayak. Then boom! Another sharp pain went through my leg. Tripping. But now it's my left leg that was cramped. So now me and my coach are just floating in the middle of the lake because I'm crippled. The lifeguard sees us and just laughs at us and waves. So we just slowly floated back to the beach. Later, back on land, we found out the kayak had a hole in it. That's why it flipped. It was slowly taking on water the entire time we were out there. But for real, for all the chaos, the camp was one of the best times of my life. Everyone should learn how to swim. I was afraid of getting in the water in camp, but my teammates had other plans. They looked at me, looked at the pool, and went, yeah, he'll learn to swim if he starts to drown. Next thing I know, 3 teammates are picking me up and launching me into the water. And that's when it hit me. If you ain't in the water kicking for your life, you ain't never gonna swim.